Well, once again, researchers are thrilled about the possibility of life on Mars. Maybe. A recent report seemed to boost the odds of life on the red planet. One scientist from the University of Arizona said if they did find life on Mars, it would be microbial and somewhere in the Martian crust. My question is this: why don't we use that same determined, scientific, optimistic approach to finding life on Earth? Those still in denial tell us a heartbeat in a human mother's womb is not a sign of life? Come on. Researchers said in the journal Nature Geoscience that further exploration is warranted to determine whether microscopic life exists on Mars. Now, one of the lead scientists says the only way to know for sure is to keep collecting rocks and doing soil analysis on the specimens. It is astounding and bewildering, to me anyway, that scientists, university departments, NASA, and independent researchers have been studying this for decades, hoping to find evidence indicating any sign of life or a living organism on Mars. What about human life? Consider some of this eye-opening information about newly conceived babies in a mother's womb. It's DNA. That means everything she will grow into was fully present at the moment of conception. Her heart began to beat 18 days after conception. Her brain waves were detectable 40 days after conception. Your baby could move and she could suck her thumb and hiccup between 6 and 7 weeks. All of her major organs are developed 8 weeks after fertilization. A baby's respiratory system begins to function, and she begins to breathe amniotic fluid at 9 weeks. A baby can smile, suck its thumb, and clap at 18 weeks. A baby can even feel pain at approximately 20 weeks gestation. Now, this last finding has led to what is called the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. It's a U.S. Congress bill to ban abortions after 20 weeks, and especially late-term abortions. Now, a baby can feel pain, and a baby can feel joy. You might recall from the Gospel of Luke, around Christmas, we read it all the time, right? When the mother of John the Baptist said, "The baby in my womb leaped for joy." Since a fetus is in fact human, then destroying it is murder. You may have heard the heartbreaking story earlier this year of 23-year-old Shelby Taylor, who was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison for throwing her newborn baby girl into a dumpster, umbilical cord still attached. Someone heard the baby crying and called police, and fortunately the baby is doing well today. It's alive. But wait a minute. Millions of young women simply pay Planned Parenthood to remove their babies, and it's completely legal. But know this, when God's law makes something immoral, man cannot make it moral. I appreciate what author and teacher Peter Heck said about this. Quote, "But it is also impossible to read this story and not acknowledge a mind-bending and confounding reality. Had Shelby Taylor entered a Planned Parenthood facility that very day and had her baby girl decapitated and dismembered for a price, our society would justify that as a moral right of empowerment and liberty," unquote. Well, good point. You do know what they do with all the baby body parts after ripping them out of mothers' wombs, don't you? If they're not sold for research, they end up in dumpsters outside abortion clinics. It is crystal clear that God considers the unborn to be a human being who has value and should be protected. The Bible treats babies in the womb as real people, and we should too. Verse after verse relating to pregnancy always refers to a living human being already in existence in the womb. Well, as far as life on Mars goes, it's pretty foggy, and we may be waiting for a while. I'm David Fiorazo. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.